2019 saw a series of technology trends come to the spotlight, and while some of them are already commonplace, their full consequences are yet to be fully realized. The proliferation and applications of these technologies will see industries grappling with both benefits and opportunities. As we begin a new decade, we will be discussing some of the top technology predictions for the year 2020. Joining us now is a tech entrepreneur, Collins Nwabugu, to discuss more on this. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year, Lagos. Happy New Year, Channels.
Let me start by asking you, what are some of the technologies that will emerge this year, 2020?
Thank you so much. Well, 2020 happens to be a very strategic year in tech, in the calendar of tech, global calendar of tech. Given the fact that it's the beginning of a new year, beginning of a new decade, and also the world is about to witness, or it's already witnessing, the fall, all right, at the dawn of the fourth industrial revolution. That is a tech disruption or a major disruptive mark in the calendar that we've been waiting for. So it's here upon us. So this fourth industrial revolution presents a whole lot of stuff, things that we were picking up from the past decade into the new decade that we just started this year. We will be talking about AI on top of the list, cybersecurity. You know, you got blockchain, which in the past decade became a very huge phenomenon in the tech space. Blockchain technology, that 70% of banks today are employing or deploying that technology, the blockchain technology. You also look at nanotechnology, but then I want to narrow it down in a way that it affects Africa. Technology predictions for Africa. So you'll be talking about augmented reality, virtual reality, where people are able to travel far and wide without really going physically. You could be right here and you could travel to see the best museum in France and in London and everywhere, and the contents become even more immersive. Imagine watching a television, Channels Television, the #1 television in the world, and watching it on VR, AR. That's what you're about to witness in this decade, where people don't really have to be in a physical place together, but they can all actually be in the same physical places. And translating to the fact that you have cloud technology, where I don't necessarily have to own assets, physical assets, but I can own my assets digitally, manage them on the cloud, and just like basically everything you have in this studio or in this enterprise, it's now digital. So we don't really have to have these desks, these tabs, this physical hardware. Everything is in software and managed in a cloud. And then the automation, the fact that you can automate basically like almost everything you do now. Look at artificial intelligence. You wake up in the morning, you want to go to Channels TV, and then you put in the address on your Uber, for instance, and then it calculates the time that to take you to get to work. So you don't really necessarily have to struggle to do a lot of things. You just sit in there, and then you just tell Uber to do what you want. You tell Pay, Ride, Food to get you food. So everything is automated. Even on your phone. Have you seen your WhatsApp lately or your LinkedIn? And when you are typing, you don't necessarily have to type words anymore, because the AI there already recognizes the words that you want to speak. So when you just type, it tells you how, and it says R, or then you just keep going. So it makes life easier. In 2020 and this decade, you're going to see a lot of life stress eased because of technology.
I can imagine the developed world, constantly have discussions surrounding all that you've talked about, AI, data analytics. Let's bring it to Nigeria now. What can we as a country, do to be at par with other countries, especially as we struggle with the issue of electricity, and other basic amenities?
Well, this is a very wrong time to go back to pre-Mordia era. I will encourage Nigerians to get active, do the best you can, because going to talk about public infrastructure would be dragging us really, really back. But let's not look at those infrastructure, that basic infrastructures that's supposed to be there because they are fundamental. But we can do the best we can to just be on the internet. Like what I keep telling people is the fact that you have a mobile phone, you have a smartphone in your palms, can set you apart. I personally would be an example. You talk about remote work.
Yeah.
where people don't really have to be in
Be
this
where they
physical
are,
place
yeah.
working. That's what it's about to take over those things that you see, physical infrastructure and all that. Like I personally, I've got jobs. I've got a couple of jobs that I don't have to be. Most of
Necessarily
the
be
places I
where-
work are not in Nigeria,
Yeah.
but I work from Nigeria. But I work in the cloud. I work remotely. So,
Okay.
so you work here, you get this, you work here. So, but basically, I would rather say that people in the tech know where to get the right solution that they need, and everybody should be
Okay,
tech.
very, very quickly, because we don't have much time. What benefits do you think this would, have, and cut across, health, infrastructure, economy, politics? Quickly, what benefits will these technologies, have in Nigeria?
Good. Exponential growth. That's the benefit. But then to utilize or deploy them in the area of medicine, you have cancerous viruses being detected by nanotechnology. That's in health. In education, virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence are being utilized by everybody right now. In government, you have e-government. A country like Nigeria does not have an excuse for not utilizing e-government. So that way, you brush off all of the corruption. You have blockchain where everything is immutable. You cannot break the chain because everything is, you need transparency, you need democracy, and all of these are already obtainable on the internet space.
Right,
So Nigeria is not an independent state. So long as we operate in this digital space, then we gotta obey the rules, play by the rules.
We will definitely do that. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Collins Umabugu.
Nabugu.
Nabugu, to this tech entrepreneur. Thank you for joining us.